In this video, I'm going to break down how to pass SolidWorks CSW exam on your first try. Now, if you want the full preparation for the CSWA exam, you can check out my course down below. With this course, I help hundreds of students to pass SolidWorks CSWA exam on the first try. Now, the CSWA exam is designed to test whether you understand the core SolidWorks skills needed to create parts, modify models, build basic assemblies, and calculate accurate model properties. So it is not enough to watch tutorials and recognize the tools. You need to use these tools accurately, independently, and also under the time pressure. So this video will show you exactly what to prepare, how to practice, and how to approach the exam. Number one, understand the CSWA exam structure. So the current CSWA mechanical design exam lasts 3 hours, and you need minimum 70% to pass the exam. After passing, you receive an electronic certificate, digital badge, and the option to appear in the official certification directory. So the exam might include practical questions that are involving sketching, extrusion, cuts, revolve, sweeps, loft, fillets, chamfers, linear circular patterns, dimensions and sketch relations, material and mass properties, inserting assembly components, and standard mates. The official exam page also states that there is a 14-day waiting period before another attempt if you fail the exam. That is why you should prepare properly before using your exam credits or your exam money. Number two, master core part design tools. A large part of the exam is based on the creating and modifying parts. So you have to avoid building the part using random dimensions and unnecessary references like planes, axes, and so on. So instead, create clear relationships between features. So you should be comfortable using extruded boss base, extruded cut, revolve boss, revolve cut, sweep, loft, fillet, chamfer, shell, linear pattern, circular pattern, and mirror. Do not only practice creating one final model, practice changing dimensions after you create a model. A model that looks correctly initially may still fail when important dimensions changes, okay? And this is design intent. How a model will behave if you change certain dimension or feature. Number three, learn to read technical drawings. So before creating your first feature, study the complete drawing. You have to be able to identify units, overall dimensions, hole position, symmetry, very important symmetry, fillet and chamfer. Pay attention to these details where you have fillets and chamfers, because if you forget them, you may get similar result, but not correct one. Then also material, very important. You may have everything correct, but you didn't apply material or you apply incorrect material. Then also front, top, and side views, section views, and also dimensions that may change later. Many exam mistakes happen because people start modeling too quickly. That's why spend 1 or 2 minutes studying the drawing, because that can save you so much more time later. Number four, fully define your sketches. Your sketches should be stable and predictable. So you have to use relations, whether that's horizontal relation, vertical, coincident, tangent, equal, concentric, symmetric relation, construction geometry that help you to create a sketch, and also smart dimensions, because you're going to use these relations and dimensions to fully define sketch. So that means that your sketch cannot break. The next thing, avoid leaving important geometry underdefined, because underdefined sketch can move unexpectedly when you edit model and produce an incorrect final result. At the same time, do not add unnecessary dimensions and relations that overdefine the sketch. So that means your sketch must be black, fully defined, not red or yellow, and also not blue. Number five, build with design intent. Now, design intent means building the model so it behaves correctly when something changes. For example, when two holes should always remain symmetric. create a center line and use symmetry or mirror tools. Okay, don't just put dimensions on one hole and then another. When two dimensions should remain equal, use an equal relation instead of typing the same value twice. When a feature should remain centered, reference table geometry rather than positioning it with unrelated dimensions. A good CSWA model should use logical references, have a clear feature order, rebuild correctly, remain stable after dimensional changes, and also avoid unnecessary features. After completing a practice part, change its main dimensions and rebuild it. Because if the model breaks, you have to find out why is this happening. Number 6, become comfortable with mass properties. Most of the exam questions require numerical answers such as mass volume or center of mass. So a model can look correctly and still produce the wrong answers because you have wrong material, you have incorrect units, you're missing some feature, maybe some small details like fillet or chamfer, you have incorrect dimensions, you may have some extra bodies, you have wrong configuration, or you have some errors. So before you give your answer, rebuild the model, confirm the units, check your material, open mass properties, compare the result carefully with available answers. No, you don't have to get the exact number. You can be within 1% of the correct answer. Now, mass properties can also help you to find mistakes because a large difference often means a major feature or material is wrong. A small difference may point to a dimension, fillet, or a cut error. Number 7, practice assemblies and mates. So you should know how to insert and position components inside the assembly. So you have to practice coincident mates, concentric mate, parallel mates, perpendicular, tangent, distance, and angle. So these are the basic mates. You should also understand the difference between fixed and floating components. So you have to know how to fix component, also how to create a float component. Do not add more mates than necessary because too many mates can overdefine the assembly and create conflicts. After applying the mates, move the components to confirm that assembly behaves as intended. Number 8, do not prepare only by watching videos. Watching someone else model a part can make the process look easy, but during the exam, you must complete everything independently or the time pressure. So that's why I use the following practicing method. First attempt, follow the lesson and understand the workflow. Second attempt, rebuild the model without watching the solution. Third attempt, complete it using a timer. And then fourth attempt, try to complete it more efficiently with fewer mistakes and much faster. Which leads us to number 8, improve your speed. That means practicing real exam style models. Build parts with strong design intent. Also check mass properties after every important change. Most importantly, do not schedule the exam until you can complete time practice exercises by yourself. Now, the exam gives you 3 hours, but the time can disappear quickly if you repeatedly search through menus and rebuild models. So that's why become very fast with opening editing sketches, changing dimensions, rebuilding, zooming and rotating, measuring geometry, applying material, opening mass properties, inserting components, and also applying mates. Number 10, manage your exam time. So do not spend too long on one difficult question. Use these rules. Read every instruction carefully, save your files frequently after every major change, use clear file names, record numerical answers carefully, skip a difficult question when it's possible, leave time to review your work, confirm units and material before submitting, and do not rebuild the entire model unless it's necessary. Number 11, avoid these common mistakes. Starting before understanding the drawing, using the wrong units, forgetting to apply the material, leaving sketches underdefined, using too many features, ignoring rebuild errors, over-defining assemblies, taking the exam too early. And the final advice, passing the CSWA exam on your first try is not about memorizing every tool inside SolidWorks. It's about mastering the fundamentals, being able to read drawings carefully, building stable models, and producing accurate results under time pressure. That's why practice each skill separately, then combine them through complete exam-style exercises. Once you can build parts and assemblies independently, modify them without errors, calculate correct mass properties, and finish with a time limit. And then you are ready. So this is what's needed to pass the CSWA exam on the first try. And if you want the full preparation, teaching all the tools and going through practice exams, you can check out my course on the link below.